Okay. Hello. Welcome to the stream, everyone. I just thought that it would be nice to do a little stream here, you know? Oh man. But yeah, I have some video ideas in mind. Got a ranking video in the works. I got a few other video ideas in mind. I also have a CD pickup video coming soon as well. Sup, Zach? It's been a minute. Yeah, it has been, huh? Hey, what's up, Joshua? Hey, what's up, Alex? I'm streaming Resident Evil 7 right now. Very cool. That's a really great game, man. It's really good. Yeah, I really like what they I really like what they did with the newer Resident Evil games, you know, making them first person and everything. Resident Evil 7 is amazing. Love the story. Yeah, it's really good. It was your first Resident Evil game. I think my first was actually the remake for Resident Evil 2, which I know is... Some people might laugh at that because, oh, you know, you haven't been there since the start. Like, oh, your first wasn't Resident Evil 4 from the early 2000s or whatever. You know? But the thing about it is like I never got into Resident Evil until, like, last year or so, to be honest. I've always known about it, you know? Like, I was always aware of Resident Evil, but I don't know. I just never got around to playing it. And I think maybe that had a lot to do with the fact that, like, Resident Evil was horror. It's a horror franchise, and, you know, that kind of stuff, like, growing up, it's kind of like a big no-no, I guess you could say. I'm not sure, to be honest. And to be honest, I don't even know if I would have even had interest in those games back in the day. Never know. You never know. But I like them now. I very much do. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do next. I heard that they are doing a remake for Resident Evil 4. I know they're making some online thing for Resident Evil as well, like Reverse or something like that. I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm excited about the future of Resident Evil as well. Hey, what's up, Max Palmer? So somebody asked Todd Latour, when's the new album, and Todd responded with, "Don't worry, it's not your business." That's kind of rude, I guess. Not really sure what to say about that. Did you like Resident Evil Village? I did. That's actually one of my favorites. I actually liked it more than the 7th game. Oh, the DLC for that as well, I'm looking forward to. Hey, what's up, Wesley? Hey, what's going on, Brian? Welcome to the stream. But yeah, I haven't gotten around to playing all the Resident Evil games, to be honest. Um, I don't know if I'll ever play 5 and 6, because I do hear that those are the worst ones, so... because I hear that, like, Resident Evil... Like, it's weird, because I heard things about, like, Resident Evil not being, like... Like, they kind of, like, fell away from the horror theme and went in a more action-driven direction. Which, is fine, because Resident Evil is kind of like horror mixed with action anyway, so... But I feel like they completely abandoned, I guess, the horror aspects that pretty much made those early games what they were, I guess. I'm hoping 2022 is good to me. 2020 and 2020, yeah, I agree with you, Joshua. The way I look at it is, I don't know how it could get worse, to be honest. I really don't, because 2021 especially was terrible for me. Absolutely terrible. If I'm honest, it's one of the worst years for me. I mean, of course, there were some highlights here and there, but it overall was not very good. I will say that 2021... I will say this about 2021, and a good thing about it. I actually got into more bands that year than I typically would in any other year. I felt like, I don't know, I just felt like I got into more bands that year than other years for some reason. Because I've gotten into quite a few bands that year. And I usually like to try to set a goal musically each year. I think this year I do want to look more into death metal. I actually want to try to look into... bands that haven't been around for, 50 years or so, So yeah, bands that are a little bit newer. I mean, obviously not new, like 2010s or whatever. No, that'll be the day. But I mean, like, 90s. Like, there's some bands I do want to look into, though, like Opeth. And there are some other older bands I'd like to look into as well, like The Cult and Testament. Those are a few bands that come to mind. Resident Evil games are good, but in my opinion, Resident Evil 5 is good, 6 is okay. Village, 7 and Village were the best. Yeah, those are, the last 2 Resident Evil games were great. I hope you're ready for new music this year, because I know I am. Yeah, for sure, man. Speaking of new music releases for this year, I don't know why or how Demon Hunter is still working on their next album. Like, they like stuck to a March release, like, the last few albums, and then it's just suddenly, they're not doing it anymore. I really hope that April is the month we get the new Demon Hunter album. That much I will say, because I am really surprised we haven't heard anything about it. You've played them all, nice. When I play video games, I play Madden and Call of Duty mostly. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, Call of Duty is mostly what I play. I have been kind of disappointed in Call of Duty lately, though. Not gonna lie. Not that I think the newer games were bad, but I don't know, man. Maybe it's just this genre. Like, maybe I'm just kind of like... Maybe I'm just kind of like phasing out of this FPS genre, because like I don't know what it is at this point that Call of Duty needs to do anymore. Like Vanguard, I'm not gonna lie, Vanguard kind of underwhelmed me. You know, it's funny because like I've heard some people say like the developers of Vanguard say, oh, you know how Halo has Master Chief? Well, we're gonna give Call of Duty their, you know, Master Chief, so to say, like their character in Vanguard. Never mind the fact that people like Captain Price exist, and, you know, Mason and Woods and all them from previous Call of Duty games. You know, it's like, I would say that Captain Price is the Master Chief of Call of Duty. You know, surely it's not these new characters in Vanguard. No, absolutely not. Thanks for joining my live stream earlier. You're welcome, Brian. If you want to try Death Metal, try Dying Fetus. I don't think I will try them, Wesley. I'm sorry. I guess I should have emphasized a little bit more when I said I want to look more into death metal. I'm talking, you know, bands that are similar to like Death, I guess. I might be seeing Megadeth, Trivium, and Lamb of God in Flames in May. Nice. Very nice. Cannibal Corpse? Yeah, that's not going to happen either, Christian. Sorry. The Cult are a good band. You should play Doom. I have played Doom. I played the 2016 one, but that was about it. You know, the thing is with Doom for me is I like it, but I've never loved it. It's always a series that I kind of found overrated, to be honest. Dead Space is a fun game. Yeah, I've heard of Dead Space. I think I played the first one. It wasn't bad. I met Todd Latour a few days ago. Very bad experience. Oh no. How did that go, Joshua? The Evil Within. Yeah, The Evil Within is like... That's kind of like another Resident Evil, right? Cynic is a progressive death metal band. Yeah, oh, I've heard of them. They actually are pretty good. I have heard one of their albums. Hey, Zach, hey, what's up, Eat Feet? Have you gotten into Gojira yet? They're a good death metal band to get into. I might look into them. I have heard good things about Gojira, though, so yeah, maybe that's a band I'll look into. What up? Hey, what's up, Prison Metaler? Finishing up on the Suicide Squad. It's the 2016 one. Okay. You personally think it's only okay? Yeah. Fair enough. I haven't seen any of those movies, to be honest with you. It's made by the same person that made Resident Evil. Okay. Well, I thought the Evil Within was made by Bethesda. I thought Capcom was in charge of Resident Evil. Oh, Gojira is one of your favorite bands right now. Nice. Yeah, like I said, I've heard good things about them. I don't know. I just never listened to them. But I might. So what was the last band that you guys got into? I think for me, I think it was Gentle Giant, which um, which I think was in October. So yeah, I know, it might be hard to believe, but the last band I got into was on October. Oh, just the person that made Resident. Okay, I see what you're saying. You kind of like inspired them, I guess. I got my ticket to go see Iron Maiden in Trivium. Are you going to the tour? I don't know, man. You know me when it comes to concerts, so probably not. It's been years since I've been to a concert, and I've only seen the band Red, so you know, who am I to believe that I'll go to to that concert? I mean, I'd like to see them, but I don't know. I'm not holding my breath. I honestly just got into Skillet. Hey, you do you, Joshua. I'll leave that band to you, I guess. Two bands I've been listening to lately are Queensryche and Psycho Center. Yeah, Queensryche is great. Gojira is one of your favorites. Nice. New metalcore band called Pride Lands. I don't know if I've heard of them. I know you're not a fan of modern metalcore. Oh yeah, not at all. Sorry. Todd told if you're not to forget the picture. The heck? What's that mean, Joshua? You finally got into Black Sabbath, and you underestimated them, but I now like their music. Nice. I thought you were already into Black Sabbath. I don't know. Yeah, Black Sabbath is great though. Probably the worst band ever. Oh no. I now own 3 Black Sabbath CDs. Can you guess what they are? I'm going to say Paranoid, Volume 4, and Master of Reality. I gotta be right on one of those. But that's okay, Zach. I respect your decision to like music, whatever you like listen to. Yeah, for sure. I'll take Red and Demon Hunter and 1,000 Foot Crutch over Skillet every time. Yeah, Red and Demon Hunter are good. 1,000 Foot Crutch I never got into, but I don't think they're bad by any means. So close. Oh man. I'm just gonna take a guess and say that I was right on Paranoid. Paranoid, Master of Reality, and Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, eh? You know, it's funny because I was thinking about Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. I was thinking maybe it's that one. I don't know, but yeah, I was close on that one. Skillet's new album is trash. Yeah, I probably won't check it out. I have thought about doing a video with my thoughts on Skillet, just as a band. I like Black Sabbath, but I'm an Aussie loyalist. Oh. Well, you know, Max, just because you're a fan of one band, that doesn't mean you can't like the other, you know? Because I know that you were that way with Megadeth for a while. You didn't want to check out Megadeth just because you were a Metallica fan, so... I mean... man, I mean, that's just not the way to be sometimes, you know? When it comes to Alice in Chains, I like both eras. Yeah, both eras are good. Lane Staley's era is definitely better, though. But William Duvall's era is not bad. Recently, I've been getting into some classic rock bands like Queensryche. I've also gotten into Meshuggah. I'm also going to get into Trivium. Cool. Well, Queensryche I wouldn't say is classic rock. I mean, I would just either consider them heavy metal or progressive metal. Headless Cross is very underappreciated in my opinion. Yeah, I would agree. I would definitely agree. That's a really good album. Corey Taylor tweeted he's quitting making music if he doesn't get what he wants. Well, what is it does he want? I mean, has he been specific about that? Or I don't know what the case is with that. You only listen to Ozzy era of Black Sabbath? That's what I meant. Oh. Okay, my bad. So that's what you meant. Okay. Yeah, I mean, the Ozzy era of Black Sabbath is definitely the best. But definitely don't pass up on the other stuff either, like the Dio era and Tony Martin eras. Because there are some very good songs to be found in those eras. Be right back. Gotta premiere my final throwback video for been doing since September. Okay. Okay, cool, man. That sounds good. Do you agree when you get to the boat where it goes downhill? Yeah, I think I know where you're talking about. A little bit. I was kind of intrigued by that part of Resident Evil 7, but I can see what you mean by that. He said on his story on Instagram, trust me, it's not really what he wants. It's probably what, you know, his managers want. Like, ooh, you have to promote this and that, you know. Because, you know, you gotta let people know, you know, spit out this weird agenda stuff going on, you know. I'm just convinced of that, man. I'm convinced that, like, it's these celebrities, man, that are, like, in Hollywood and stuff. Like, man, you cannot tell me that literally every soul in Hollywood happens to have the same exact political view on everything. You cannot tell me that. Man, I'm just convinced that it has a lot to do with, you know, them getting paid to spit this crap out on social media and stuff. Because they know that people look up to these higher celebrities. You know? That's why there's so many people that are, like, manipulated. Just saying. You know? Seventh Star is a masterpiece. Really? Interesting. Top 5 favorite Tool songs. Well, I go with Eulogy and H. Those are both from the Anima album. Schism, Parabola, and crap, one more, huh? Maybe Flood from the Undertow album. I don't know, that's a tough one for me, to be honest with you, so I think I'll just leave it at that. Wait, what happened with Danny Carey? What did he do? I didn't hear about that. Where's MJ? That's a good question. I don't know. Glenn Hughes singing is phenomenal on that album. What do you think of the boss battle at the end? Are you talking about the ending to Resident Evil 7? Yeah, you know, Resident Evil 7 had a pretty interesting twist. I really do like the way they did it. Because, like, throughout the entire game, like, you see that old lady in the wheelchair, and it's so weird. And it kind of raises some questions, but like once you get to the end, it all makes sense. Like you discover that that's that girl, you know. So it did have a pretty interesting twist to it, I guess. And you know what? I've seen walkthroughs for Resident Evil 7 even before playing it, and I for some reason missed out on that part. Like I don't know. I don't know how I missed that part. Todd Latour's wife tweeted, "Check out Todd's new jeans. He's obsessed." Man. Todd Latour and his jeans. Marilyn Manson's in hot water again. Yeah, what else is new? Oh, he got into a fight. Oh, jeez. That's interesting. Yes, I am. Okay. Yeah, I don't know where MJ Nation is. I am surprised he's not here. Same with Andrew Bebe. I don't know where he is either. Here's my take on it. You can't force someone. Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, see, the thing is with me is like I'm not pro, but I'm also not anti. I'm just, you know, do what you feel is best. That's my take on it. You know, I have plenty of friends that that have made their own decisions on that, and I could care less, you know? I mean, I hope they're okay, and I wish them the best and everything, but, you know, it is what it is. There's Andrew Bebe. Hey, what's up? I think Alex did mess my brakes. Oh, gosh. Of course he did. But yeah, I totally agree with what you just said there. Eat feet. Sad I don't talk to half my family no more. Oh, well, join the club, man. I haven't spoken to any of my cousins in years or anything. It's see, like the thing is, like I grew up in like kind of a toxic environment, you know, especially on their side of the family, because it's just like just too much arguing, you know. I grew up in a pretty argumentative family, to say the least. Looking forward to Italian Sniper because you are in it. Yes. Yes, you are. And MJ is in the post-credit scene. You don't see him, though. You just hear his voice. Like a Storm came out with a new album. Nice. Yeah, I never got into Like a Storm. Have you played the Spider-Man game? I have not. You're talking to an Xbox guy here. But you know what? Spider-Man is basically a good enough reason for me to convert to PlayStation. You know, I know that Xbox is, buying all these companies because, they want to, get back on top, I guess. Because, I mean, let's be honest here. PlayStation is definitely more popular. But, I don't know, man. The fact that, Sony still has Spider-Man and everything, like, that's enough for me. That's enough to make a deal breaker. You don't really talk to your dad. He's pretty toxic. I'm sorry to hear that, Eat Feet. Azar White is here. Please get a PS4 or 5. Maybe. Maybe. I'm not subscribing. PlayStation for life. To be fair, I'm not anti-PlayStation, okay? Believe it or not, I grew up with a PS2. That was a big part of my childhood. And to be honest with you, if I had to choose a next-gen console, I'd maybe go with the PS5, to be honest. And again, I've been off the PlayStation bandwagon for, the last 2 generations, because I had an Xbox 360 and I have an Xbox One. So, yeah. And, the only reason, for the longest time, the only reason that I've been an Xbox guy for the longest time was just because of Halo, like you just mentioned there, Alex. But, Halo, even in recent time, hasn't been doing it for me as much. So, like, now I'm just at this point now where I'm just like, what's even the point? Like, is there even any reason to be in favor to Xbox at this point? Sure, back in the 360 days, there was a lot more excuse because, man, the Halo games back on the Xbox 360, excellent. Especially with Halo 3 and Halo Reach, excellent. Those are flawless games. I feel like my life isn't going nowhere. No job, 25, can't drive, still live with my parents. Yeah. I understand you, Joshua. I definitely do. So, I feel like my life's not going anywhere either. So, yeah, you're not alone on that, man. But, the only thing that's really keeping me going at this point is just the anticipation. Especially with everything that's happening in the world right now, because I know that so many people are giving up, even going as far as, ending it all, if you know what I mean. That's how depressed people are getting through this whole mess that we've been facing these past few years. But one of the main reasons why I keep going through this is because I really want to see how it all ends. And if you are someone that is watching this and you happen to be one of those people that feel like giving up through all of this because of all the bullcrap that's happening in the world right now and how life's a little bit harder to live through, just wait and see what happens. You never know. It may all get better before we even know it. And like I said, that's one of the reasons why I choose to still go on, is because it's like a movie. It's like you want to see how it all ends. Uh, Not really into Black Sabbath now, but I'm really into them. Yeah, Black Sabbath, again, great band. I like Halo, used to play with my use all the time. Very cool. Call of Duty partner with Xbox. Yeah, I've heard about that. But I still heard that Call of Duty's still gonna be on PlayStation. Man, could you just imagine if Call of Duty stopped releasing could you imagine if they stopped releasing games for PlayStation? I mean, that would just... Could you imagine how many people would throw massive fits over that? It'd be crazy. Because some people live for Call of Duty, man. If you can find a PS5, right? I lean towards Nintendo and Sony, yeah. There's only like one game that I would actually buy an Xbox for. Which game is that, Aaron? Favorite is probably Paranoid or Into the Void. Great songs. When I was a kid, I was on both sides. I had a PS2 and original Xbox, and a PS3. I had a Wii U. Yeah, cool, man. Anybody seen the new Scream movie? No, I've heard good things about it, though. To be honest, I've never seen any of the Scream movies. But I have heard good things about them. Especially that new one. We are going to win. I hope we will. Good always wins. Yeah. Hopefully. And you know what? The thing is, this whole mess, like, it's not about right versus left anymore at this point. I'm at this point now where I don't even care about that. I just want life to go back to normal. You know? And I think because of everything that's happened, it's really... Everyone's kind of gotten passionate in their own side, you know? Like, I guess everyone's kind of just been radical on... It depends on what group they stand by, I guess. Thank you for you. You were like inspirational. Thank you, Zach. You're very welcome, Christian. Glad I could be inspirational to you. I recently got into Led Zeppelin as well. Very nice, man. Yeah, Led Zeppelin's great. I'd say they're an essential rock band. I mean, if you love rock, you gotta love Led Zeppelin. I mean, that's just what I believe. I mean, they're obviously legends and everything, so... Microsoft is being pretty generous to keep the newly acquired game companies not exclusive to Xbox. Yeah. I would only buy an Xbox so I could play Killer Instinct. Probably my favorite fighting game ever. Really? I've heard of Killer Instinct. I actually heard they might be making a new one of that as well, so we'll see. Microsoft exclusive. Yeah, I know, man. I watched Venom 2 recently. It was good. Nice, man. Yeah, I actually plan on seeing it recently. Or I might see it soon, I should say. I know I'm a little late to the game, but... I don't know. I might go pick that up sometime, maybe. I don't know. Has anyone watched the new Spider-Man movie, No Way Home? Oh, yes, you better believe I did. I did a review for it. I think it's a great movie. I'm on the right, but I know it's bigger than right versus left. Yeah. Really, I don't consider myself to be anything these days. Now, a few years ago, yes, I probably would have been more solidified in my opinions. But, you know, there's even things about the right that turned me off as well, you know, like, because if you guys don't know, I am vegan and, you know, anti-hunting and things like that, and it's not a very conservative thing to be anti-hunter and vegan, I guess. Uh, so I don't really have much in common with them when it comes to that, and, you know, same could be said about the whole, their whole marriage pushing thing or whatever. That's something that I'm kind of like, I don't agree with. Like, a lot of, like, I know this ain't with every one of them, but a lot of them do believe that, like, you have to, like, be pressured to be married after a certain amount of time of dating. Like, oh, if you've been dating for at least a year, you must be married at this point. Which, yeah, but easier said than done. That's my take on it anyways. Probably the best Spider-Man movie. Yeah, I would agree it's one of the best, at least. Okay, Zach, if you missed my comment on your review, it was great seeing Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. Yeah, for sure. I only went to see it for Tobey, yeah. I'll be honest with you, I probably would have no interest, or I shouldn't say no interest, because, you know, I actually don't mind Tom Holland now. But originally, I probably wouldn't have went to see the movie if Tobey and Andrew weren't in it, and none of the original actors were back. In fact, I would go as far to say that even if it was just Willem Dafoe as the Goblin and Doc Ock back, like, even if those original actors, like, if those were, like, the only returning actors in this movie, I'd probably still want to see it. You know? Especially for Willem Dafoe, because he especially is insane in this Spider-Man film. I'm also just excited to see what they do next. Did you see the end credits of Spider-Man? No, I sadly have not. I probably will eventually, though. Maybe when it comes out on DVD or something, I'll see the credits, the post-credit scene. But yeah, pretty dumb of me to not stick around for the end credit scene. Tobey Maguire is the true Spider-Man. Yeah, I agree with you there. Due to everything going on in the world, it was near impossible. I just might change my name just because they demand you send your actual marriage license through the mail. Huh. Yeah, I mean, this whole thing has just really inconvenienced a lot of people. Spider-Man 3, the first two were classics. You know what? I'll be one to say that I don't think Spider-Man 3 is as bad as some people say it is. I really don't. It is the weakest of the trilogy, but I don't think it's as bad as some people say it is. Obviously, the dancing scenes are atrocious. I mean, those scenes can get in the bin, but other than that, it was alright. You know, I do think they could have done without Venom. I've actually seen a review for Spider-Man 3 who basically, in his review, he basically made a better Spider-Man 3 story where he actually made Harry the villain instead of Venom. And I think that might have worked out better, but I don't know how you guys feel about that. So we just waited it out. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's all you can do, man, right? Did you see Welcome to Raccoon City? I went to the premiere and you hated it. Yeah. You know, I heard that movie was not as good as anticipated. I think it looks okay. Alright, I'll be honest. I think it looks okay. Hey, Zach, hey, how's it going, Bob R? I did enjoy Spider-Man 3 when I first saw it. Not as terrible as people make it out to be. Also, Venom was only added in the last minute because basically an afterthought. Yeah, I think I heard something about that. I actually heard that Vulture was supposed to be the villain in Spider-Man 3. I don't know. It might have worked out better. I'm not sure. I mean, Spider-Man 3 is what we have now, so it is what it is. The dancing scene, right? You know, when I was younger, I didn't really think much of the dancing scene, you know? But I don't know, like, I just thought that, like, it was made for, like, a certain audience or something. Because I know that everyone who watches superhero movies are not really a fan of the genre. Like maybe like some guys will take their girlfriends or something to the theater to watch a Marvel movie. I think that's one of the reasons why they add scenes like that, like romance scenes, like just to try to, you know, get other people invested. Like, oh, it's not just fighting, you know, they can actually be invested in it, I guess. You heard the director didn't know what to do for Spider-Man 3. Yeah, I mean, I've heard that too. I've heard so many stories about, you know, Sony having a hand in Spider-Man 3 and how, you know, the way Spider-Man 3 is now, Sam Raimi didn't want it to be that way. And it was basically all Sony's doing, but I don't know what to say. After seeing the Venom movies, Venom from Spider-Man 3 just ruined the movie looking back after all these years. Used to be my favorite of the original trilogy. Yeah. Well, I think when we were all younger, we preferred the third one because, you know, of we thought Venom was cool and everything and how it was super dark and everything like that. So, but now looking back, it hasn't held up very well. Vulture was going to be the villain in Spider-Man 4, actually. Well, yeah, he was. But that was only because he was originally going to be the villain in Spider-Man 3. So they were like, well, scrap it, let's make him the villain in the fourth one. I actually do believe that him and Mysterio were supposed to be villains in the fourth film. And also, I don't know if you guys have Facebook or social media or anything, but there's been like a lot of hashtags going on around saying to make Spider-Man 4 and make the Amazing Spider-Man 3. One can dream, right? I hope both of those happen. I know some people might say, yeah, Amazing Spider-Man 3. I personally don't care. I would like to see a third of Andrew Garfield's films. I think he deserves a trilogy. That's my opinion. They also plan to have Mysterio show up. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was just saying. Linkin Park's Mike Shinoda confirms the band is done. I mean, I'm not surprised. But maybe it's for the best. And Hathaway was supposed to play Black Cat. Yeah, you know, it's crazy, because there hasn't been a Spider-Man movie with Black Cat yet. Which is crazy to think about. But I do imagine, I mean, let's be honest, they won't stop making Spider-Man films, so eventually they ought to have Black Cat in a Spider-Man movie. Who knows, maybe she could be in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 4, Amazing Spider-Man 3, or maybe the next one with Tom Holland. I mean, we'll have to see. What's the name of the lizard man I forgot from Andrew Garfield? Um, his character's name, Connors, is that his name? I wasn't really into Spider-Man 3, to be honest. I only like the 2 sequels. With McGuire, okay. It's more drama between him and Mary Jane and Spider-Man. Yeah, that was totally unnecessary. Like, I don't know why that had to happen. Venom's personality in the Venom movies was funny. Yeah, definitely better than Venom in Spider-Man 3. I thoroughly enjoyed Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man and would love to see more of him. Same here. Definitely. I wish there was I wish there should be a third Venom movie, meaning Spider-Man maybe. Oh well, they've already talked about making a third Venom movie. That is happening. But I don't know, Spider-Man could be in it. By the way, I did hear that apparently the universe of the Venom films is actually in the same universe as Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. Isn't that crazy? Like, so if he does eventually fight Spider-Man, like, could he be fighting Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man? Because I think a lot of people would expect Venom to be fighting Tom Holland's Spider-Man, but I guess the only way that would happen is if they crossed universes. But who knows? We could see Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man fight Venom. That would be cool. I'd be down for that. I'm not gonna lie. Spider-Man 4 was rumored to be rated R. I mean, Carnage is a pretty brutal individual, which I hear he was also supposed to be a part of it. Maybe that was the rumor, because I know there was rumors about Carnage being in Spider-Man 4. Linkin Park's Phoenix said the band is writing new Linkin Park material with unused Chester vocals. Do you like Van Halen? Yeah, I do like Van Halen. Definitely a great band. Hey, Brian's back. Welcome back, man. My nephew said the new Spider-Man... saw the new Spider-Man movie. He thought it was alright. In fact, he thought it was kind of lame. What? I think it's a great film, however. Oh my gosh. Dude, who thinks No Way Home is lame? Like, I've yet to meet anyone who thought the movie was garbage. True, Andrew's version hasn't had a Venom yet. Yeah, that's true. Spider-Man No Way Home is great. So is West Side Story. It's a musical movie. Yeah, I'll be honest with you, Brian. I'll probably have no interest in it, but that's okay. But that's nice that you liked it, though. Yeah, Van Halen are legends. Hey, Zach, are there any Black Sabbath CDs that you don't have yet? Yes. I don't have Seventh Star. I'm also missing Forbidden, Cross Purposes, and Tear. I think that might be it. I know I have most of their discography on CD, but I know I am missing those ones. Alex, he loves musicals. Oh my gosh. I'm not a glam metal fan. I'm usually into 80s thrash metal and heavy metal era mostly. Yeah. Hey, no one can blame you, right? I'm only interested on getting Black Sabbath CDs with Ozzy Osbourne on vocals. Yeah, that's how I was for a while. Like this year or last year or so, like I just now started getting around to collect the Tony Martin albums from Black Sabbath. Because Before, I was like, it's the Ozzy and Dio stuff. That's it, you know? But no. Wrong mentality to have. That's fine, Zach. Musical movies aren't for everyone. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I don't dislike them. I'm just not into them. Eddie Van Halen's on. There's an unreleased song in the vault plans. Making a new album in the future. Van Halen needs to make a best of Volume 2. Because that never happened yet. They made a Volume 1, but for whatever reason, they never made a Volume 2. And I have Volume 1 on CD. It's a pretty good compilation album to have. Ozzy Osbourne is working on a new album this year, but they didn't confirm it. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that Ozzy started working on a new album, but I actually never got into Ozzy's solo stuff. I might look into it, though. Is MJ here? No, he's not for some reason. I'm not sure why he's not here. So, what are your guys' thoughts on the Kraven the Hunter movie? Because that is supposedly in the works as well, and he's obviously never been in a movie yet, not with Spider-Man or his own solo film or anything like that. I think that would be pretty interesting. I'm not sure what they could do as far as his story. Like, if I were to guess, it would probably be like some origin story of Kraven, but we'll have to see what they do. Oh, David Lee Roth said there will not be a Volume 2. Oh, well, that's lame. Okay, then. Did you hear Sid Wilson from Slipknot stating Ozzy's daughter? I didn't hear that. I think 2022 will be another great year for metal. I hope. I really do hope, because I haven't really heard much of anything yet. I mean, I know we got a new 3 Days Grace album coming out in May, which, I'll be honest, I'm not super excited about. I mean, I'll check it out and everything, but I'm not, like, losing my mind over it. And I do know that we have Demon Hunter releasing a new album this year as well. I predict their album will probably be out by late April or maybe sometime in May. Anticipating new albums of Megadeth, others. Arch Enemy. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I'm also looking forward to new Anthrax and Megadeth. Honestly, those two bands might be my most anticipated right now. Especially after their last albums. For All Kings by Anthrax is a great album. Dystopia by Megadeth is great, so after those albums, I'm definitely excited to see what they're going to do next. So yeah, new 3 Days Grace, new Demon Hunter, possibly new Megadeth and Anthrax. Who else? Possibly a new Breaking Benjamin album, but I'm honestly not holding my breath for that one. Do you like Ozzy solo stuff or Black Sabbath? Definitely Black Sabbath. I just listened to all the non-Adam 3 Days Grace albums, and I think they're not as great compared to Adam's version of 3 Days Grace. I agree. I think Matt does a fine job with 3 Days Grace, but definitely not as good. Scott Ian said on his Twitter, new tunes in 2022, so that means a new Anthrax album. Bring it on. Bring it on, Anthrax. I'm ready. New Meshuggah is also releasing a new album this April. Yeah, I've heard about the new Meshuggah. I might look into that. Meshuggah's an okay band. I don't mind them. I'm looking forward to the new Megadeth album, Hyped. Yeah, it's definitely long overdue. I mean, we've been waiting for the new Megadeth album for years now. Because I remember, like, in 2018? I think it was 2018 was when Dave Mustaine said that he started working on their next album, and their last album came out in 2016. So it's definitely long overdue. So I hope this is the year we get it. Godsmack's new album is coming this year. I hope for a 1,000 Horsepower Part 2. Yeah, I'll leave Godsmack to you, Max. I'm not really a fan of them, to be honest. Not the worst band out there, but definitely not a fan. Ben Burnley's post on his story that Breaking Benjamin's future is uncertain. Yeah. Honestly, I don't know how Breaking Benjamin at this point has gotten away without announcing a new album at this point. Like, it's like, hey guys, you do realize the last album was like 4 years ago at this point. Like, not including Aurora, of course, but hey, we need a new album. I love Meshuggah. Nice, man. Yeah, like I said, Meshuggah, they're just okay in my opinion. I don't love them, but they're not bad. Is there such a thing as melodic hard rock? I don't think so. I really don't. Soulfly is also releasing a new album this year. Hey Zach, is it also cold in your town? Yeah, it's been snowing here. That's one of the reasons I haven't, gone out in some time, so. Yeah, but I probably will get out soon. I don't know, man. Like, I just, it's crazy, man, because I feel like I'm going insane. Like, because I've been really isolating myself from everyone and everything. I don't know. Because things have obviously been very uncertain as of recent, so. But yeah, new series in a few days. Ain't that crazy? I just don't like people, to be honest. Yeah. See, the thing is with me, it's just so hard to get along with people anymore. Like, I'm just at this point now, man, where I'm just so done with even just trying. Like, even some of the guys in the metalhead community, like here on YouTube, like, man, I don't even know why I try half the time. And it's not like they've even... It's not like they told me, like, hey, you're not cool enough for the metal community, or whatever, or you'll never be on our levels. Like, sure, they haven't boldly said anything like that to me. But I just think it's just quite obvious that I'm just not on their level, you know? I'll never get to do the collabs that a lot of them do and things like that. I don't know. I'm sorry. I just don't feel welcomed in that community at all. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's, my views, my stances are they too much of an issue, or, is that too much of a distraction, or, I'm sure people like Metal Meltdown think I'm a terrible person because of that, but, is it because of that, or is it the fact that, I'm someone who prefers thrash metal to extreme metal. Extreme metal is in like black metal and death metal. And again, it's not like I dislike death metal. I think there's some very solid death metal out there. So, yeah. And sure, maybe it's not the most underground stuff out there, but who cares? Ben Burnley's made a joke in an interview that he wants to make country music. Wow. Hey, if Breaking Benjamin did come out with a country album, their fans would still love it just because it's, it has the name Breaking Benjamin on the cover. You're hoping to get more Anthrax CDs this year? Yeah, same here. I'm very close to owning their entire discography. Shinedown are releasing a new single soon. Yeah, the thing is with Shinedown for me, like, they're one of those bands that I thought, like, that I would have a chance of getting into, but they really don't do anything for me. But a couple decent tracks from them. I don't mind them, though. You watch some of my old CD pickup videos. Nice. I remember your 4 CD pickup video where you bought Megadeth, Slipknot, and Iron Maiden CDs. Yeah, well, I don't even have those Slipknot CDs anymore, dare I say. I actually ended up trading those in. I kind of lost interest in Slipknot, to be honest, if you couldn't tell. But I don't think they're bad. Not the Metal Meltdown, yeah. You know what's funny about the Metal Meltdown? I've heard stuff about him, like, even before I even watched anything on his channel from a friend. I won't, of course, say who that is, because I don't want to throw him under the bus, but, I don't know, I've heard things about him, and I've heard that, he's kind of a, well, dare I say, SJW, but I'll just leave it at that. And, I caught him saying how, he doesn't like Zach D Productions as a content creator or as a person. Okay, you know what, man? A content creator I can understand, because I understand that my content's not for everyone. But to dislike me as a person, why? Oh, I know why, because I'm not woke like you are, Sorry that, I don't have the same views that you have. You heard a channel named Adventures of TNT? They do rock and metal country reactions. I might have heard of them. I used to like Godsmack, but now they... Yeah. Yeah, I've been kind of that way with some bands. Yeah, All Out Life wasn't on We Are Not Your Kind. Yeah, I am surprised it wasn't. I'm not gonna lie. Zach, you might one day get back into Slipknot. Yeah, it's possible. I won't deny that. It is definitely possible. you saw Slipknot live at iOS since a couple months ago. Nice. Very cool. Keith Wallen said only close thing to a Breaking Benjamin album is his solo album, which will be releasing in 2022. Yeah, see, that's what I don't get, man. Why, like, are Breaking Benjamin fans, like, are they just, like, going on to Keith Wallen's solo material? Like, is that, like, is his solo stuff, like, is this the continuation of Breaking Benjamin? Like, is this how they're just gonna continue through Keith Wallen's solo stuff? That's a load of BS, if you ask me. I don't know, man. Breaking Benjamin fans really do get me sometimes, because it's like, I mean, what is the excuse at this point? Like, I'm sorry, I don't see how in 2022 you could still take Breaking Benjamin as serious just as much, maybe if not more than you did 10 years ago. I'm sorry, I just don't see it. Keith said it's even better than a new Breaking Benjamin album. Yeah, right. I'm sure most fans would say they would rather have a new Breaking Benjamin album, but that's my stance on it. Keith is out of his mind, yeah. And you know what? I've heard, a few years ago, I have heard some of his solo stuff. It's not terrible, but it's not, you know, it's kind of just take it or leave it, you know? The screen is frozen, is it? Can you guys see and hear me okay? Please let me know. Oh boy. Yeah. I won't bounce. Yep. I agree with you there, Alex. Apparently his bandmate also from Breaking Benjamin, Sean, so he's deciding to make a new album too. What? Why can't the guy... See, here's the thing. Like, if these guys really have this much creative differences that they feel they have to go their separate ways, like with Keith Wallen and that guy going their separate way because maybe they have creative differences, why can't they do these things on the next Breaking Benjamin album? You know, like, because let's be honest here, Breaking Benjamin could use some experimentation. Because no one wants the same thing every release, let's be honest here. Unless, you know, you're that guy that starts with that guy with the name that starts with the letter T. I'm sure some of you will get that, but... I missed the part where that's my problem. Hey, MJ, there he is. He's here. Oh, this stream's working for you? Nice. Oh, MJ was streaming? How did I not know that? Tony, yes. But yeah, you're a little late, MJ, we talked about a lot of things. Do you like Angel Witch? You know what? I've heard one of their songs. That's actually a band that I might want to look into, because what I have heard from them, I don't remember much about it, but I do remember liking what I've heard. So maybe I'll look into them. We'll have to see. Oh, put some dirt in your eye. Yeah. Oh, you have their self-titled CD? Very cool. Sean Foyce did an interview saying why have a new Breaking Benjamin album when you can get solo albums? That just leaves me speechless. Diamond Head? I've heard of Diamond Head. I've never checked them out. Okay, Zach, I'm going to go now. Take care. All right, Christian, you take care. Thanks for joining the stream. Recently got into the band. Yeah, you were telling me about that. Pretty good band. They do have some stinkers in their discography, though. Yeah. I might look into them. We'll see. It like I said before, it's been since October since I got into a band. At this point, Breaking Benjamin is uncertain. Well, you know what? I would sleep very well if they stopped making music. I mean, really, man, think about it. You know, and this is something that I would make an argument with Breaking Benjamin fans. If you really think about it, Breaking Benjamin has had 6 albums, not including Aurora. They've had 6 albums. But they've had a 20-year career. So you mean to tell me, in the 20 years of their career, they've only had 6 albums? Yes, I know, they've had a hiatus in the early 2010s. But it's not like the hiatus was like a decade long. It was like a 5-year hiatus. I don't know, man. I feel like we could get more Breaking Benjamin albums than they're really putting out. And I know some people might want to make the argument, oh, well, they take their time on their music. Really? I mean, all their song structures are basically the same. Like, what is there to take their time on, you know? Like I said earlier, this band could use some experimentation. I love your channel. Well, thank you so much. That really does mean a lot to me. I left a like on the stream. Thanks, Max. You gotten into 3 bands this year so far. Well, that's crazy. I've gotten into none so far. But I hope to change that soon. I can see Obituary and Opeth being the next bands that I get into. We'll see. I'll have to look into them more, especially the band Obituary, which I mean I've already liked what I've heard from them, so I already know I will like them. Keith Wallen has announced Ben Burnley's on vocals, and Sean Foyce will be on his solo album as well. Are you kidding me? Then why not just make another Breaking Benjamin album then, if you're just gonna do that? You know, I actually wouldn't mind if Breaking Benjamin came out with another album where, you know, they had Ben Burnley and Keith Wallen going back to back, you know, with their vocals. check out the Saxon Unleash the Beast CD. I might check it out. I've heard a few of their songs. I know Gene played for them at some point. Maybe I'll look deeper into them. Godsmack has made 7 albums in 20 years. Yeah. Oh well. Yeah, I don't know. That seems to be the case with bands like that. Like, I don't know what it is with bands like Breaking Benjamin and 3 Days Grace, where like they've been around for years. Like both these bands have been around for like 2 decades, but they haven't released a lot of material. Like, why is that? You know, you think about bands like Iron Maiden. You know, Iron Maiden released their 6th album like the 6th year of their career. And once again, before you say, oh, well, you know, maybe bands like Breaking Benjamin and 3 Days Grace really are better than bands like Iron Maiden, because they actually take their time on their music. But man, you know, Iron Maiden released an album like every year for the first 4 or 5 albums. And guess what? All of them are great. They haven't had a misstep in any of their first 5 albums. Killers, I think, is the weakest one, but even that one was good. You know? What is the excuse? That's something that I don't get it. I really don't get it. Obituary is awesome. Glad I got to see them live. Second favorite band I've seen live. Very cool. Very cool, man. I got into more Queensryche, and I got into Psycho Center this year. Keith Wallen said the reason he wants the album to be considered as his album, not Breaking Benjamin. See, that's really dumb. Have you heard of Bolt Thrower? Yes, I have. I haven't really checked them out. Hold on, guys. I gotta get my charger for my phone. New Breaking Benjamin album would definitely pique more people's interest and do better numbers-wise than doing a solo album. Yeah, exactly. I was just saying, like, I feel like the consensus would rather have a Breaking Benjamin album. Your favorite Iron Maiden album is Fear of the Dark. That's kind of an interesting choice. Yeah, Psycho Center. Yeah, I know. Yeah, only Max, man. Only Max. I'll just say that. I mean, I haven't looked too deep into their discography or anything, and I don't think I want to. Fear of the Dark does have some underrated gems like Judas Be My Guide, Childhood's End, and Chains of Misery. Yeah, those are very good. Judas Be My Guide is my favorite on Fear of the Dark. Nice. That is a pretty catchy song. Hold on, guys. I'm going to get my coffee here. Somewhere in Time. Nice. Yeah, Somewhere in Time is definitely one of my favorites. Probably my 3rd favorite. It might even be 2nd these days. I don't know. It's really up there for me. I mean, it's really grown on me a lot. Because to be honest, Somewhere in Time has no weak song on it. But obviously, same could be said for Power Slave and Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. Yeah. Yeah, my favorite Iron Maiden album does go back and forth between Power Slave and Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. I guess it depends on my mood. You love all the early Maiden stuff, though? Yeah, definitely. All the early Maiden stuff is great. MJ needs to be in your next series. He needs to be in it, just like he was in it for your Italian Sniper. Yeah. Yeah, I would have MJ back in it if he's up for it. If he wants, I could actually have him play a much bigger role in the next series. I do have ideas for the next series, though. Sea of Madness is an overlooked song. Yeah, it is. It is a great song. Unpopular opinion, Virtual 11 is better than A Matter of Life and Death. You know, as much as I don't agree with that, I actually respect it. And I respect it because I know that there's many people that say that A Matter of Life and Death is one of their favorites. My friend Dalvin on YouTube, that's actually one of his favorite Iron Maiden albums for whatever reason. But yeah, I think it's one of their weakest, but I know that some people really love the album. It's not bad, but I don't know. Just not as good as most of their albums, in my opinion. You remember when one of your friends put Seventh Son of a Seventh Son as his least favorite? I'd be open to play a barrel. Cool with whatever works for Zach. Not the best actor, but I'd be open for the opportunity. Yeah, for sure, man. I might make a coffee. I got a headache. Might get some caffeine. Yeah. You should, man. Coffee's always great. Well, it's not his least anymore. Well, that's cool. I don't like coffee. Grabs popcorn. That's alright, man. I don't care. Yeah, I've noticed a lot of people that I know are not really fans of coffee. I wouldn't say that I'm addicted to it, but I do like it, though. Virtual 11 is their worst. Yeah, I would agree with that. What's your favorite character in Resident Evil? That's a good question. Probably Leon Kennedy, just for the heck of it. Songs on Brave New World are too long, really? That's how I feel about the Book of Souls. I think every song on Brave New World is excellent, and to be honest, dare I say, Brave New World is one of my favorite Iron Maiden albums. Did you hear Falling in Reverse's new single, Zombified? Yeah, I was actually just checking out Brian's video on the guy from Falling in Reverse. Yeah, that's a band that I've never really followed. Both musically and lyrically. Oh, that's cool. Brave New World was their last strong album, in my opinion, but I do think Dance of Death is pretty good. I rarely return to A Matter of Life and Death, Final Frontier, and The Book of Souls. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, Future Real and The Klansmen are good. Those are probably the best songs on Virtual 11. Virtual 11 is much better than the X Factor. Ooh. Ooh, no. I definitely don't agree with that. I actually really dig the X Factor. I'm actually one of the very few people that would rather listen to the X Factor than A Matter of Life and Death. I actually don't think the X Factor is as bad as some people make it out to be. I think it's really good. Probably their darkest sounding album, too. Oh, post Brave New World. Okay. Starbucks coffee or Dunkin' Donuts coffee? Well, that's a good question. I haven't... That is a good question. Well, I'd probably go with Dunkin' Donuts, because I haven't had Starbucks long enough to know, but I don't know. I'm not too picky when it comes to both of them, though. Sorry that I left. I'm sorry, but I need to eat soon. Sorry about that, bro. I'll be back. Sorry. Oh, boy. The X Factor is so boring. I mean, I would agree that a couple of the songs are boring, but definitely not the whole album. I think the album as a whole is pretty good. I definitely like the X Factor more than Virtual 11. X Factor has more songs I like. Yes, it's slower and darker, but I still like it. Yeah, exactly. Those are the only good songs on that album. Then there's The Angel and the Gambler, right? Yeah. Exactly. Falling in Reverse, Somifies. Yeah. I think some of the lyrics are betrayed. Well, but he's talking about cancel culture when he knows the stuff he did was very messed up. Yeah, I mean, I applaud him for standing up to that stuff, but you know, if he's like doing other stuff that's messed up, then yeah, that's obviously a different story. I don't know. I haven't been keeping up with that stuff, so yeah, I don't know what to tell you there. I've heard of Falling in Reverse, definitely not a fan. Yeah. Same. I also like Lightning Strikes Twice from Virtual 11. That song is okay. I don't dislike it, I just think it's okay. Definitely not too bad, though. He threw a mic stand out the crowd and injured... Oh, jeez. Well, yeah, that's not right. Falling forward is better because falling in reverse, at least you know where you're going and land on the ground. Oh, Andrew, only you, man. I think the X Factor is better than the Final Frontier. Oh, it is. I definitely agree with you, it is. It's pretty cold. Yeah. Why? Yeah, for real, why? Psycho Center over Rush. Get out. No. Just know. 5-finger death punch over Queensryche. Embarrassing. Yeah. Yeah, for real. Yeah, we know he's joking. We know he's joking. So just so you guys are aware, I do have 2 videos coming out. Well, my next one will be a ranking video, but it'll only be a ranking video for a certain era of a band, but you will of course see what that is. And then I'll have a CD pickup video also. You could probably expect that tomorrow, actually. Original Queensryche, Todd Latour's Queensryche. I definitely agree with that. Dude, especially with the first 4 or 5 albums of Queensryche. You just can't top those. I know some people may not like Promised Land, but I think the album's pretty good. When is the official release date of Italian Sniper? The 28th. So, just a few days. I hope you're excited. Hope you're just as excited as I am. Queensryche, 1983, 1984, 2013 to present, over Queensryche, 1995 to 2012. Fair enough. Yeah. I probably agree with that. And you know what, man? Here in the Now Frontier, that album just doesn't do anything for me anymore. Like, I don't know. Like, I honestly think it's one of their weakest. Like, honestly, like, nowadays, I wouldn't be surprised if I... Nowadays, I wouldn't be surprised if I would rather listen to Q2K over Here in the Now Frontier. Like, that's how much Here in the Now Frontier has really dropped off. The band Possessed, you know what? I've heard of them. I heard that they are one of the pioneers of death metal, so if they're an older death metal band, I might check them out. You really like Promised Land? That's cool, man. Yeah, Promised Land's really good. It's a bit different, you know, a bit darker, but hey, I kind of dig it. They're from 1985. Nice. Yeah, so they would be one of the pioneers. But yeah, I'll probably post my next ranking video tonight, so be on the lookout for that, and then I'll do a CD pickup tomorrow. And then I have, well, I'll probably upload it before posting Italian Sniper Rebirth, the full series. But it's actually my anticipated films list. You heard me right. It'll be my most anticipated films of 2022 and beyond. So be on the lookout. Dedicated to Chaos is the worst Queensryche album. Yeah, without a doubt. I like hearing the Now Frontier, but don't love it. I think it's okay. Tribe is decent album. Q2K has 2 or 3 songs I like, but overall most of the album is lame. Yeah, true. I hear what you're saying. Do you like Venom, the band, not the movie? Yeah, I have heard of the band. I don't know. Maybe I'll listen to them sometime. I set up a premiere for my throwback movie review for midnight. Okay, cool, man. Very cool. Everything I've heard from Queensryche has been awesome. That's good, man. Well, I'm just going to take a guess and say that you've only listened to everything up from the self-titled EP to Promised Land. Because it goes downhill from that point on. I'll just say that. But then again, you never know with Max. I haven't checked out any of their music, RJ. Oh boy. They're black metal. Okay. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of black metal, but I don't hate it though. Like, I'd rather listen to it than, like, you know, folk metal and stuff. Which I personally think is the worst genre of metal out there. Condition Human. Yeah, Condition Human's pretty solid. Yeah, you know, it's funny because, like, honestly, like, nowadays I have my days where, like, I'm at this point now where I don't even know what my favorite Todd La Torre Queensryche album is. Like, I would probably go with The Verdict, but honestly, if you wanted to say Condition Human, I'd be perfectly fine with that too. Like, I don't know. They're both, like, almost equally as good. They changed their sound to Viking metal after the first 4 albums. Oh, well, you can count me out then. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of Viking styles of really anything at all. Sorry about that. Keith Wallen said his new solo album is going to make people not want a new Breaking Benjamin album. Yeah, highly doubt that. I did check out some stuff from The Verdict. I think it is a good album. Yep. Yeah, definitely check out Condition Human. I have a drum and a puzzle piece signed by all the Queensryche band members. Nice. Yeah, I know you've shown that several times. It's pretty cool. But yeah, when it comes to, like, folk and Viking metal and stuff like that, like, that stuff has never been for me. If you like what you've heard from The Verdict, then you'll like Condition Human, yeah. Yeah, for sure. They don't release often because nowadays it's all about realizing and milking an album just as much as possible, just because they know they're mainstream and popular enough, they know people will buy albums. Yeah, I believe it. I definitely believe that. Yeah, Breaking Benjamin is definitely due for a new album. I mean, that goes without saying. It's been almost 4 years since Aurora, and Aurora doesn't, or not Aurora, I meant to say Ember. 4 years since Ember, and Aurora does not hold up that well. You know what? Breaking Benjamin's got to think outside the box. They really do. I think Queensryche has been getting better with Todd Latour so far with each album. Yeah, for sure. I agree with that. But Todd Latour as a person has been has been getting worse with each album, I've noticed. Although I have noticed that he has calmed down on Twitter and stuff, so hopefully he stays that way. And to tell you the truth, that's actually something that I do worry about with the next Queensryche album. I'm like, man, the lyrics to the next Queensryche album better not be like full of like woke stuff, like, because if it is, I guess you can count me out on that one. So I'm not completely dismissive of the next Queensryche album, but I just hope it has nothing to do with that stuff. New Shinedown song coming this week. Yeah, you can count me out on that one as well. I think Shinedown's okay, but yeah. I don't know. I think maybe it had to do with me getting it, like, trying to get into Shinedown when I did. Because I tried getting into Shinedown at a time where I wasn't really into modern hard rock like I used to be. It's all about bands. Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, the next Queensryche album is called The Master of Jeans. I dig See There Now too. Don't worry, Zach, I'm not Rise Above the Sorrow. I know you're not. Favorite new wave of British heavy metal bands? I gotta go with Iron Maiden. But Judas Priest and Black Sabbath, they're not far behind Iron Maiden. Like, not much separates the three for me. I mean, I'd say all three are definitely top 15 favorite bands. I mean, they would definitely be in the top 15 for me. Aurora fell off pretty quick, to be honest. Yeah, it definitely did. I agree with that. I'm excited for Shinedown's new single, but it's supposed to be very political, I believe. Yeah, that's kind of lame, but hey, if you can separate the art from the artist, you know, hey, then that's cool. When it comes to Aurora, I only return to the song Far Away if I return to the album at all. Yeah, I either return to that song or the one with Michael Barnes, the song Failure. Black Sabbath is not new wave of British heavy metal? Okay, well, my mistake then. I don't know what you want to call Black Sabbath then. You know. Do you just collect movies or just CDs? I actually would like to own some more movies, but I don't know. We'll have to see. But yeah, I mostly do collect CDs. Probably a lot cheaper too. I don't listen to Seether as much as I used to, but I got back into the band's albums every once in a while. Okay. Yeah, see, there's another band that, like, I've tried to get into, but I think it was because of the time I tried to get into them, you know, that's why they didn't do much for me, if you know what I mean. Tour just tweeted, anti-maskers need to shut up and get a life. Ugh. Well, the irony in that tweet, I guess. Telling people to get a life while he's on Twitter complaining about people that literally don't even matter to him. The dude needs to get a life. New wave of British heavy metal starts with Judas Priest. Yeah, I believe it. Black Sabbath are heavy metal. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't see the tweet. Well, Joshua, I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to deny, he has lied about many things, so, hey, I don't know what to believe. Probably deleted it. I'm sure he did. I have more movies than CDs, but that could change, because I pre-ordered some new albums, yeah. Yeah, you should collect more CDs. Will we get a new Red album, or will it just be singles from now on? I mean, I'm sure eventually they'll make a new album, but if I'm honest, I'll probably not be that excited for it, because Declaration and even the album that came before that, they really do lack replay value. And hopefully, the next time Red announces a new album, they don't spoil half the album, like they did with Declaration. I've been digging 2 songs from Whitesnake. Okay, that's cool. Kyle Keith. Thoughts on the doom metal genre? I don't know. Like, I might look into doom metal more, we'll see. Like MJ Nation mentioned, Candlemass, that's a band that I might look into, we'll see. We'll see. But I know that some of Black Sabbath's material is doom metal. Met him a few days ago and had a bad experience. Had an interesting experience with him. Oh my gosh, MJ. Black Sabbath are sometimes considered doom metal. Okay. Yeah, I have heard that. Yeah, I haven't returned to Declaration by Red that much. Yeah, you know, I don't know what the deal is with Declaration. Like, it sounds like Red, and it is Red. And it's like, what's the issue with it? Like, it's so weird. Like, it's one of those albums that, like, I'm not a big fan of, but I'm honestly, like, confused. Like, why am I not a big fan of it? I mean, sure, I probably would like it a lot more if I was still, like, 17 or something, but I don't know. Maybe I just grew out of that style of music. I don't know. The bands I do not like, Alice in Chains, ooh, Candlemass, Poison, Motley Crue, and Red, ooh, yeah. I mean, I really like Alice in Chains, and I do like Red, especially the first 5 albums from Red, but yeah. It would be cool if you put Master of Reality by Black Sabbath, Master of Puppets up against each other, metal that are totally different. Yeah. Honestly, that would be a really hard one for me to do. I might go with Master of Reality. I don't know. That might change, though. It really might change. Because Master of Puppets is also really great. And that is one of my favorites from Metallica. Def Leppard. Or hair metal Def Leppard. I like both eras, to be honest. I think both eras are solid. I know some people don't like Hysteria and Adrenalize, but I dig those albums. Lane's voice, it's just not my sound. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I get it. Releasing 4 or 5 singles on a 10-song album before is not good. Yeah, I definitely agree. On Through the Night is your fave? Nice. Yeah, On Through the Night, well, I guess I'll go ahead and spoil what the ranking is I'm doing, but it's actually for Def Leppard. But it's not in the way that you guys might realize. It's actually just for a certain era. Edgy. Yeah, for real. Angels and Airwaves released 7 out of 10 songs for a new album. What? Okay, I'm sorry, but who does that? Releasing 7 songs before releasing a 10-track album? That's like 3 songs to look forward to. Big deal, you know? Dude, that reminds me so much of the time when Red released that joke of an EP, Evening Hate EP or whatever it is. And, you know, when they released it, it's like, we've heard most of this material already. Like, the only thing that we haven't heard prior to the EP was the acoustic version of From the Ashes, I think it was. And it's like, you could have just released the acoustic version of From the Ashes. You could, like, you know, they should have at least made the EP physical. You know, at least give the fans something to look forward to, you know? Like, make a physical release of it. But, oh well. I guess Rise Above the Sorrow vanished, yeah. Yeah, it seems like it, huh? Yeah, it's ridiculous. It was one of last year's album for 2021. Oh, okay. That EP was pretty much worthless. It was. It was. Not gonna lie. I don't know, man. Like, Red, they're just not the same band that they were. You know, back in high school, like, I actually had good reason to be a big fan of this band. And I think a lot of people can relate to that. Like back when I was in high school, they were a band that were worth making a big deal out of because they were a quality band back then. You know, I'm mainly talking about, you know, the Until We Have Faces, Release the Panic days. Now, I know some people don't like Release the Panic. Nowadays, I don't mind the album. I think the album is alright, actually. It's definitely better than Declaration, at least in my opinion, but, yeah. Red is unfortunately a bit generic nowadays, yeah. And, you know, that's a thing, too, that I want to bring up. I actually wouldn't mind if Red did some experimentation on their next album. I know there's many fans that would probably cry a river if Red just decided to do another Release the Panic, but to be honest, that's probably just what we need. A lot of fans might not realize it, but that could be something that we need. If We Only and Damage are good songs. Yeah, they are, especially If We Only. Red needs to go back to their roots. I agree. They've gotten repetitive and lost their touch maybe a little bit. Yeah, for sure. Red should have put their cover of Hemorrhage on Declaration. Yeah, Max, I don't know. That's... you and I definitely don't see eye to eye on that cover. I'm personally not a fan of it. It's not that bad, but yeah. Definitely not a fan. I love their Innocence and Instinct album the most, and that's where they found their footing in terms of sound progression and maturity. I also saw them live during that cycle. Also, What's Going On? Hey, what's going on? Yeah, Innocence and Instinct is a great album. That's probably my favorite. I think Skillet is a good band. Once again, man, I'll leave that band to you. Not a band for me. And their cover of Hemorrhage was not that great, especially the vocals in that chorus. Not terrible, though. Yeah, for sure. Zach loves Skillet. You got me. Skillet is not as good as they were when Comatose and Awake came out. Yeah. Yeah, like, you know, even putting my bias against Skillet aside, they definitely used to be better than they are now. I will say that. You know, I do think that Comatose and Awake, like, those were really the peak. Like, the days of the peak of the band, I guess. You could say that they were basically the Phobia and Dear Agony of their discographies. But, I don't know. Release the Panic isn't my top 3 Red albums. I know I'm probably alone on that. Yeah, you are, but hey, you know what? That's a respectable opinion, because I actually don't mind Release the Panic that much. It's not as bad as some people say it is. What do you expect coming from the new 3 Days Grace album coming this year? For 3 Days Grace and their next album, I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not losing my mind over it. Their last single does lack replay value, but it's not a bad song. But if you want my personal opinion, I do think there will be better albums to come out this year. I'll just say that. But still, it'll be worth checking out, I guess. They make rock anthems nowadays. Skillet does. Yeah, that's what I've heard. Never got into Skillet. Always found not a big fan of the guy's voice. Yeah, that's understandable. So Cold Life hasn't had the best replay value, to be honest. Yeah. Yet you like Virtual 11 and Nickelback. Oh. Well, Virtual 11 is a masterpiece compared to anything Nickelback has done, so... yeah. But still... still their weakest. Yeah, for real. I love Virtual 11, Stop the 8, yeah. Yeah, I mean, after listening to Virtual 11 for the first time, like, because I remember even before I listened to it, like, everyone was saying, oh, the album's horrible, it's their worst, which it is, it's their worst, but I don't think it's as bad as a lot of fans were saying. It's not their best, but it's not that bad. Yeah, that's understandable. I heard a couple of Nickelback songs at work today. It was unfortunate. I'm sure it was. Um, I agree Skillet was the best in 2009 with their album Awake. I saw them in 2010 on the Awake tour. Nice. You know what? The thing is with Skillet, like, there was once a time where I kinda liked them. I had a couple of their albums on CD, but you see, I think a lot of that had to do with peer pressure. Because, growing up in the youth groups and stuff, because you know how Skillet is, if if you wanted to be one of the cool kids in youth group, you had to be a fan of Skillet apparently. So, yeah, I guess that really played a factor. And there I was, like, a Red fan, you know, and it's like I mean, I still prefer Red over Skillet. Like, I think everything Red has done is better than anything Skillet has done. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Yeah, when certain bands release too many singles, it doesn't help keep fans excited for their new album. Yeah, I don't know if that's, yeah, true. I don't know if that's what their intention is though. Like, is that why? So many bands like Red like release so many singles to keep them excited. It's like, dude, we get it. We're excited for the album. You don't need to keep releasing singles. There's no point. If anything, it's spoiling the album. That's why I haven't released. That would be like me releasing like a ton of trailers for a new series. Like, hey, just reminding you guys, next series. You guys still excited? It just doesn't work like that. Because, I don't know, have you ever heard of this thing called spoiling? you know? I don't expect anything from 3 Days Grace anymore because they still lean on electronics in the band's new material. You can blame the drummer. No wonder Adam left. Oh gosh. Yeah, I don't know. The Angel and the Gambler is what makes Virtual 11 hard to get through. Yeah, true. Very true. You hope Skillet retires soon. Fair enough. Fair enough. If it was 4 minutes, it would not be a horrible song. Yeah, I hear you. I like Matt and his voice, but the quality of the lyrics have been going downhill ever since he joined. Yeah, I can probably agree with that. Under Oath did it with their new album, dropped 5 singles, 10-track album. The album did do very good. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I never got into Under Oath. It's not. That's the point. It's not 4 minutes and overstays its welcome to the point where you can't appreciate it anymore. Yeah. I've read As I Lay Dying and Killswitch Engage are going to be dropping new music sometime soon. Well, I hope that's true as well. That would be nice to get new music from them. If you had to pick one over the other as far as anticipation is concerned, who would you lean towards? Probably, I don't know. That's tough. Because you know what, man? I do have my days where I do prefer As I Lay Dying over Killswitch Engage, but I have my days where I prefer Killswitch Engage over As I Lay Dying. But I think in most cases I would go with As I Lay Dying, and I think that's only because of the nostalgia. Because I've been a fan of As I Lay Dying way longer than I was a fan of Killswitch Engage. I know Killswitch Engage is most people's first metalcore band, but I actually didn't get into them till later on. I've always found them kind of generic when I first checked them out. but I eventually had a better mindset towards them. Like, now I'm a big fan of them. I don't know. I wasn't too impressed with As I Lay Dying's last single. I think it was like a B-side to their last album or something. I'll be honest, I wasn't that impressed with it. Was it like Roots? Roots something? I don't know. I mean, not that I thought it was bad, but I don't know. It just kind of sounded like more of the same. I don't know. That, like I said, going back to that question, that is a tough one because I have been a fan of As I Lay Dying longer, so I do have more nostalgia for them. But you know, I do think that Killswitch Engage has put out better albums in recent time. You know, Incarnate and Atonement, solid. Both great. That chainsaw through a wall line from So Called Life made me roll my eyes during the first listen. That's a line you'd find from a Five Finger Death Punch song. Yeah. Yeah, you know, that's one of the reasons why I don't like modern music as much these days. It's all edgy. Like, these bands, like, try to be edgy and they try to be relatable, you know, with the youth, you know, with their loneliness and depression. Well, guess what, man? I went through that as well, and I don't find it cool. I don't find it relatable. I find it edgy. So, I mean, that's my stance on it. I wouldn't mind if Nickelback retires. I'd be okay with that at this point. I still like a handful of songs, but like Seether and Breaking Benjamin, I can only go back to bands. Yeah, I hear you. Singer for Skillet said Skillet got years before they plan on retiring. This will make Zach very happy. You bet. You've been a fan of Killswitch Engage longer? Yeah. Yeah, see, I haven't. As I Lay Dying over Killswitch Engage? Yeah, like I said, it depends for me. Like I said, I have days where I do prefer one over the other. I do think that Killswitch Engage... I do think they do a better job at diversing their sound, I guess. I guess you could say they just, you know, go outside of the box more than As I Lay Dying does. Because, you know, Killswitch Engage is very similar to bands like I just feel like between the two bands, As I Lay Dying and Killswitch Engage, I do think that Killswitch Engage does lean sound-wise closer towards my favorites in metalcore, like Trivium and Demon Hunter. Like, I think that they lean more towards their sounds than As I Lay Dying does, so maybe in that sense, you could say that Killswitch Engage is better, but I don't know, because, you know, bands like Demon Hunter and Trivium, they both have a diverse sound for metalcore. Because let's be honest here, most metalcore is not not that diverse. That's one of the reasons I don't listen to it as much. There's not much variety to it. Skillet, in my opinion, is cringe. Yeah, they kind of are. Nickelback's last good album was Silver Side Up. Compared to the albums, yeah, I hear ya. Roots Below, I like the song, but it is more of the same. Yeah, that's my complaint with it. No Fixed addressed as Nickelback's Saint Anger. Atonement is one of their best, in my opinion. Might be not be the most very popular. To say that I think it's a strong album. Yeah, I agree with that, actually. I mean, in my opinion, it's like, what's not to like about it? And I don't understand why there's people that say it's one of their weakest. What is there not to like about it? It has everything that it needs to make a Killswitch Engage album, except even better, in my opinion. But I kind of do think that... I think some people just have that album last in their rankings just because of, ooh, nostalgia. It's not the end of Heartache. Big deal. You know, now sure, maybe this has a lot to do with me not being a fan since back then, but, you know, so what? Nickelback's discography is Nickelback's Saint Anger, right? Yep. I miss Iron Maiden-like lyrics. Yeah. Same here. Yeah, these metalcore lyrics, like, they're so edgy, man. Like, they're obviously trying to, like, please high schoolers or something. Like, I don't know. At least most of them, anyway. Do you like Witchfinder General? I've never checked them out, to be honest. Sorry. Yeah, I don't think anyone's mad you like Skillet, Joshua. I mean, I'm not a fan of them, but hey, you do you. Has anybody heard the Family Force 5 album? I have not heard anything from them, I don't think. I think Hero and Monster are decent songs, but yeah, never could get into Skillet, yeah. Atonement is very good. Oh, yeah, it is. I'm probably one of the very few people that like Atonement more than The End of Heartache. I know that a lot of people love The End of Heartache. Like, some people even go as far to say that that's the best metalcore album of all time. And while I can respect that opinion, I would agree that it is one of the most important albums ever in metalcore. Like, it's a landmark metalcore album. But to me, I don't think it's their best. I think the band has done better. And I think they've certainly done better with Howard Jones. I think As Daylight Dies is probably the best one with Howard. Declaration has really poor production quality. Yeah, I'd probably agree with that. Guilty as Charged. I liked a few Skillet songs at one point in my life. Like the song Monster because it was a part of the Ghost Rider. Oh, yeah. That's cool, man. Yeah, I don't remember much about Ghost Rider. I might check it out sometime, though. Viking metal or Warcry? Oh, gosh. Neither. I'd rather not listen to music. If those were the only genres of music left in the world, I would not be a music fan. Sorry, guys. The guitars are muffled and the vocals drown out the rest of the instruments. Yeah, Aaron, I do know that you, I do believe that you do know what you're talking about because I know that you do have music experience. So, yeah, I mean, I believe what you're saying on that one. Atonement is the best album by the Jesse era, but to be honest, if you knew their sound and style, they know how to perfectly like As I Lay Dying, Demon Hunter, and early All That Remains. Yeah, for sure. Back back from dinner, had lovely ham. Welcome back, Andrew. Sounds very indie, if you get what I mean. They're independent now, so I guess this is likely why there's a drop in quality. Oh, well, I guess them going independent was kind of where they took a downturn, you could say. Burger and fries, ice cold beer. Alive or Just Breathing, As Daylight Dies, and Atonement are my favorite Keel Switch Engage albums. The albums that start with an A. Yeah, those might be my favorites. Although Incarnate would probably be up there as well. I think Howard Jones is better than Jesse Leach. That's fair. I think they're both great vocalists. Pick one. Pick one what? From Atonement album, I'll come out and say that I Can't Be the Only One and Unleashed. It's not a bad song either from that album, yeah? I like Ghost Rider, the first one. The second one is terrible. Yeah, I've heard... That's what I've heard. I've heard the first one is good, but the second one is not so much. EPs typically aren't made to be a physical product. Yeah, I know. Sometimes they are, though. Being edgy is awesome. Anyone looking forward to the new Ghost album? I don't like them that much, but I heard the singles. It's okay. I'm not a Ghost fan, and I'm also not really... I'm also not really looking forward to the hype surrounding that album. Because I know that a lot of people make a big deal out of the band Ghost. Feels like All That Remains kind of dropped off lately. Barely hear much about them nowadays. Last album was in late 2018, if I remember correctly. I think you're right. Yeah, that's another band that we definitely need a new album from. It definitely does seem like they have dropped off. I don't know where this band has gone. And I'm sure it does have a lot to do with the death of Ollie. But if they're continuing, why don't we get a new album from them already? You know? I don't know what to tell you. Ghost I like, but hey, to each his own, yeah. Oh, pick one. Okay, I guess Viking Metal. Why not? New Korn album? Oh, Korn, yeah, that's another band I'd like to maybe look into. That's a band where I have heard... Where with what I've heard, I liked, but I don't know. I just, for some reason, haven't dove deeper into them. Like, I like the Nothing album, and I liked what I've heard from their self-titled debut. So, why I haven't gotten into them yet, I don't know. But I'll probably look into them more. Skillet Overrush, just kidding, yeah. Victim of the New Disease was a comeback. Yeah, a solid comeback. Yeah, it definitely is. It doesn't have the strongest replay value, but I think it's still pretty good for what it is. Do you like Creator? Not a fan of them, at least yet. That's another band that I might look into, but we'll see. New Judas Priest, I'm definitely... Yeah, that is also one of my most anticipated albums. Most anticipated heavy metal release since Firepower. Such an incredible album, definitely. Oh, by the way, speaking of Judas Priest, what do you guys think of their guitar player featuring on Demon Hunter's next album? I mean, who would have saw that coming? I'm curious to see how that's going to work. because obviously Judas Priest and Demon Hunter are two totally different bands. So we could see some really nice guitar soloing on this Demon Hunter album if that ends up being the case. Follow the Leader by Korn is definitely an essential when it comes to new metal. Same with their debut. Yeah, I have heard their debut. It's pretty good. I'll have to check out Follow the Leader. Animals as Leaders. Yeah, I've heard of them. I don't know if I'll look into them though. Domination is the new Skillet album. Do you like it? What do you guys think about it? I haven't even checked it out, to be honest. RJ says he hates Demon Hunter. Oh no. Well, why do you hate them, RJ? It's kind of a strong feeling towards them. I don't know what there is to necessarily hate, but okay. They did an instrumental track with no singing. That's interesting. What about Death Angel? Any albums you want to pick up by them? Yeah, I think I have most of their discography now, if not at least half their discography. I'm just missing their debut. I'm also missing their... Yeah, I think I'm just missing their debut and their 2000s albums. That's about it. Couldn't get into Demon Hunter, to be honest. Yeah, that's understandable. I do get that they're not for everyone. I don't know. I think they're a pretty unique band, though. And they were, after all, my first metal band. I mean, they are a great introduction if you're getting into metal. I mean, I've said this before, and I think I'll say it again, but I think they're one of those bands that, like, if you're not that new to metal, like, if you've been a metalhead for a while, there's a good chance that you probably won't get into them. I don't know. But I think some people's reasons for not liking them can be ridiculous. I mean, obviously the whole, but they're a Christian band, you know, but it's like, yeah, but you listen to satanic metal, you know? So it's like, if that's really your reason, then I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't mind Demon Hunter, not bad. Certainly a unique band in metalcore, but their music doesn't do a whole lot for me. Not much grabs me, but I just don't find their guitar work all that interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely better guitar players out there, but I think Patrick Judge does a suitable job, I guess. But for me, it's really the emotion. The emotion in their music that really does it, especially with Ryan's vocals. I grouped Demon Hunter with Five Finger Death Punch and Slipknot, really. The Slipknot thing I can kind of understand, but Five Finger, what? No. I mean, I can understand where you're coming from with that, but eh. I don't know what to say about that. I would love if they went back to the Extremist album, since that's my personal favorite album that remains. You know what? I'm really glad that you mentioned that album. I actually think Extremist is one of their best. You're not a fan of the bro vocals, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say Demon Hunter has bro vocals though. Like, especially in their early material. And even some of the later day stuff, but I mean, I see what you mean. I'm not into bro metal vocals either. I mean, you could say that's one of the reasons I'm not into Five Finger Death Punch, so. The one album may not be your kind of music, Zach. Yeah. Who's my favorite band? That's a good question. I don't really have a favorite band these days, but I'd probably go with this band here, Rush. Some other bands, I'd probably throw Led Zeppelin on the list. Dream Theater, probably Metallica and Megadeth, so yeah, I'll just leave you with those. I like Demon Hunter, but I won't say they're my favorite band. Yeah, same here. You know, back in 2016, like, I remember for the longest time they were my favorite band. For a good number of years, too. So I guess you could say that kind of dropped off in like 2018. It was like shortly after Outlive came out. Yeah, shortly after Outlive was when I decided, yeah, they're probably not my favorite band anymore, but I still am a fan of them. Dead Flowers is one of my favorite Demon Hunter songs. Same here. Maybe even my favorite Demon Hunter song, to be honest. Moving Pictures alone is a reason to have Rush be considered a top 10 band. Yeah, agreed. Didn't somebody make a video saying how Demon Hunter is devil or demonic music? How pathetic. Yeah. Yeah, I think Feeding the Machine did a reaction video to that. That was pretty funny. Imagine if Demon Hunter and Metallica toured together. They were my two favorite metal bands, in your opinion. As cool as that would be, I'll just say that'll be the day. Alright, I'll just say that. I'm probably one of the many people that loved 70s era of Rush equally as the 80s and 90s, but they never made anything bad. Hemispheres, maybe number one. Nice. Yeah, you know what? I definitely agree that the 70s era is probably just as good as the 80s era. The 90s era, I actually don't agree with. I like the 90s era of Rush, but I don't... It's not top shelf Rush for me like the 70s and 80s eras are. I tried to get into Dream Theater, but I found them to be boring. Oh my gosh. Lord help me. Did you start out with the Astonishing album? You know? Hold Your Fire gets too much flack. Yeah, it kind of does. But yeah, RJ, I will say that, to be fair, when I first checked out Dream Theater back in 2016, I actually didn't like them. I didn't like them, but I think that was because I was so high on metalcore and melodeath that I had a close mind to pretty much everything else. You know, if it didn't have screaming in it, I didn't care about it. But then a couple years later, checked them out again and ended up really liking them. Now they're one of my favorite bands. Images and Words. Oh, dude. Images and Words is one of their best. Oh, gosh. Well, maybe prog metal just isn't your thing, man. I don't know what to tell you. There is some good stuff on there to me. Not their worst. Great songs like Open Secrets, Force 10 Time Stand Still, Prime Mover, Mission, etc. Yeah, agreed. Dream Theater is great in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, I think they're great. Images and Words are and Awake are so good, but yeah, Dream Theater is not the easiest band to get into, but they're great. Yeah, for sure. Like I said, when I first checked out Dream Theater, I actually didn't like them. Just because, you know, oh, they didn't have screaming in their music, you know, because I was so high on metalcore and melodeath back in the day, and I mean, obviously that was very close-minded of me, because I just was dismissive towards everything else, quite literally. But I grew up a little bit, and now music doesn't have to have screaming in order for me to enjoy it at all, really. The vocals, I can understand why. For progressive rock and metal, Dream Theater is a staple for the genre. Awake Images and Words, Systematic Chaos, not very. Yeah. Train of Thought is also a great album, and to me, one of their best. Yeah, I might agree with that. You know what? I know there's many people like like Jamie Horsley, no offense, Jamie, but he says that he says that their newest album, A View from the Top of the World, is their weakest album. Man, like, and you know, I've heard many people say that. I'm sorry, I don't get it. I really don't. I still think it's a good album. It's not one of their best by any means, but I think it's a step up. I think it's a step in the right direction. And I'll be honest, I'm probably one of the few people that like A View from the Top of the World more than Distance Over Time. Yep, you heard it here. I like how Dream Theater changes their tempo and their melodies for their songs. Yeah, that is really cool. I've also been listening to Avenged Sevenfold lately. Yeah, Avenged Sevenfold's alright. Not one of my favorites in metalcore, but they're not bad. Change of Seasons is definitely one of their best songs, top 5 song from, for me, an example of how to do a 20-minute song well without being boring. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that is a great song. I actually believe Quest for Metal said that that might be his favorite song of all time. How do you feel about lengthy songs in music? Do you think defeats the purpose of the album, or do you feel there's more dynamic and structure? See, for me, it depends. For me, it depends. Like, I think there's bad examples of doing lengthy songs, but I think there's some very good examples. Like Empire of the Clouds by Iron Maiden. That song does not need to be 16 minutes plus. It does not. It's one of those songs that could be shortened. I agree, Zach. A View from the Top of the World is one of their best albums to date, in my opinion. Yeah, that's cool, man. I don't think it's one of their best, but I do think it's one of their best in a while. To me, it just sounds like a return to form. Like I know there's people out there that say Distance Over Time was a return to form, but Was it really? Like, Distance Over Time was probably their most straightforward album that they've ever done. And the sound, like the production, like I don't know if it was just the sound itself or the production, but it had this sort of like robotic sound to it that I'm just like, yeah, this is not a return to form. I'm sorry. It's a good album. I think Distance Over Time is a good album, but to me, it's just not as good as A View from the Top of the World. Sorry. Empire of the Clouds to me is way too long. Not terrible, but really overstays its welcome. Might be alone. In that sense, I do remember seeing some people praise that song. Yeah. I even remember seeing Cover Killer Nation say that he thought that was, well, he thought it was like the best Iron Maiden song to date. Ouch. Now, I will say this though. This was when the Book of Souls first came out. So maybe it just had to do with album hype. Because obviously, you know, when a new album comes out, you're going to prefer it to a lot of the other albums from that band because it's something new and it's something you haven't heard before. So of course, you know you're going to be listening to it a lot. So of course you're going to prefer it more than most of the other albums from that particular band. But that's why it's kind of important to give it time. See how well it stacks up in comparison to everything else and really listen to it for what it is. Now, sure, there's some instant solidified opinions on some albums when they first come out, like Senjutsu, the last Iron Maiden album. I think that album is probably the best thing that Iron Maiden has done since Brave New World. I might even go as far to say Dance of Death, but I might even say Brave New World, to be honest. Yeah, you understand where I'm coming from? I agree that many Maiden songs could have been much shorter. Prog epics are different and often better. More to say, yeah, I definitely see where you're coming from there, Matthew Hirsch. I'll admit, I don't return to A View from the Top of the World much. Definitely not one of their best in my opinion, but a solid album. Answering the Call and Sleeping Giant are great songs. Yeah, for sure. Those are some of my favorites on the album. Transcending Time I also really like. That's a song that I do return to a lot. Like, really, like, all the songs I think are great. The Alien is probably the weakest one, but even that one is good. I just have to say that. But yeah, I will probably have to end the stream pretty soon. I've been going on for a while now. I've returned to A View from the Top of the World time to time. That's cool, man. But yeah, if you guys have any final things that you would like to say, now would be a good time. And this will probably be my last stream before the release of my new series. Yeah, it's been a pretty chill stream, I'd say. Good luck, congratulations. Well, thank you so much, Matthew Hirsch. That means a lot to me. Well, if you guys don't have anything to say, I guess I'll just leave it at that. So, yeah, thank you guys for joining the stream. I'll definitely tune in on the new series. Well, thanks, Brian. Yep, it releases on the 28th, so go ahead and mark that down. What would you consider your 10 out of 10 perfect album? Moving Pictures by Rush, probably. I mean, there's a few other albums that probably make that list, like Ride the Lightning, but anyhow, take care, you guys. Thanks for joining the stream. So, yep.